This channel is for educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions.
This is Joe Rabil. So I like to look at multiple time frames, and today I want to give an example of why it can be so important, especially in today's volatility. We can see patterns that develop on the smaller time frames, but if you're not looking up, if you're not looking at the bigger time frames, you can put yourself in a very tough position. So want to make sure you understand this. I see this happen a lot, especially with traders that are just starting out. So let's go ahead and get going with this. Now, if you want to learn some more about these techniques, I would suggest starting with my book. It's at rabilstockresearch.com/book. And also, if you enjoy the content on this channel, please hit the like button and also subscribe. Thank you. Okay, so I'm looking at two time frames right now in FCX, Freeport-McMoRan, and we had this strong move to the downside. This is what I like to look for. We get the strength to the downside, and we take out a prior swing low. So we got a move in price where we make a lower low, all right? And then MACD confirms by also making a lower low. And then it starts to pinch back in towards the signal line. And then if you notice on this move to the downside, we also get red DI breaking out above all of this kind of noise here between green and red, showing that the sellers were really strong. And now as we get this rally back up, in fact, during this move, we actually got ADX to cross above 25 for the first time in, a few months, which is a good sign of strength, good sign of selling strength to the downside. All right. So if I'm just looking at these two patterns, I'm looking at this saying, okay, I've got my ABC kind of developing here. We're back up into resistance. Yeah, I have a little bit of overrun here, but I could be watching for a pattern of a break of the trend line and then a lower high, looking at 1, 2, 3, because we don't have a lot of strength in the sellers. In the buyers. We had a lot of strength in the sellers based on the red DI. You see how red DI caused the ADX to break out, but we don't have any strength in the green DI. We can't even get ADX above 25. So looking at this, I would be saying, wow, this could be a great setup. Now, I want to make sure you get the theory behind this, right? First of all, we do like looking for stocks that have broken support and broken its prior lows and has confirmation here. All right. But then when we start to look at multiple time frames, we can see, and now I've added, so now we still have the daily chart up here, and here's the hourly. All right. Hourly giving that little rally with not a lot of strength. All right. Based on the buyers. All right. And then we have this basically rally after a strong break of support. So we're rallying back into resistance. But if you look at it from a bigger picture standpoint, you can see that we're coming down to this big support area. Yeah, we undercut these lows on the weekly, but if you look at the monthly chart, we're coming into major support here around $30. So if you want to play this, you're going to have to be incredibly nimble, and I think you'd almost have to go down one more time frame and play it off of a 10-minute chart. You can't just do it off the daily and the hourly here. I don't think there's enough room to make the risk reward make sense. Remember, if you're going to use the hourly chart to be your trigger time frame, then you got to be willing to give this a little bit of room on that time frame. You can't just use the high of that bar. And I think you got to be really careful when it comes down to it. And the reason is that even though you might have room to 30, you might also see this come down only a partial way and then turn back up because of the reversal that's taking place at this major support area, right? We got pretty good volume that took place on the move at the low. So if you're just focusing in on two time frames like this, then you're going to put yourself in position where you think you've got a really good looking trade based on my book, based on my courses. It meets all the criteria of the two time frame pattern, but we want to zero in on the ones that have some room to play with. We don't really want to. You're really playing with fire here when you buy something or short something that's this close to major support. The same thing on the long side. If you're buying something on the long side, you want to make sure there's enough room to resistance on the higher time frames as well. Now, I did a lot the reason why I bring this up is when I started out, I did a lot of day trading. And I was focusing in on, typically I had a 5-minute chart and a 1-minute chart, right? I just had those two time frames, and that's all I was looking at. I wasn't looking up, even at a 30-minute or an hourly or anything like that, to see what was really going on. And what I ended up finding is I get in a lot of trades that either went against me right away because I was really fighting the higher time frame, or they would only go a little bit, and then and maybe I could hit a target or get it to a break even, and then it would immediately reverse on me, right? So what I started to figure out was if I looked up one more time frame, I could isolate the patterns, the setups that were the primo setups, the ones that had the most bang for the buck. Because every time you put on a trade, you need to make sure that you can get at least 2 times what you're risking at a minimum. I prefer to have room to like 3 or 4 or even 5 times my risk. And then I might only get 2 times when it's all said and done. You don't know what the market's going to offer you, right? You put on really good trades that meet all your criteria, and then you got to see what the market offers you. You don't know. A lot of trades are going to end up in small wins and small losses. And then occasionally you're going to see those big monster wins on your log sheet. And that's how you have to think as a trader. If you think you're going to be able to pick out only the big winners to play, right? Then I think you're going to be in for a really long journey. All right. You have to understand that managing your trades are just as important as anything. We don't know, we don't know exactly which are going to be the big winners. So one thing we can do to put that in our favor, though, is use multiple time frames and figure out which stocks have, the bigger support areas close by. And let's just not fight that. We don't really need to be in a position to be fighting the bigger time frames. And every now and again, you'll see a stock come down, do this, and turn right down and break right down through all that. All right, but I was telling an institutional client this week that I don't deal in possibilities, I deal in probabilities, right? So I want to find the stocks that have the higher probability setups, not one that has the possibility of breaking through a big support area. All right, so keep this in mind with your trading right now. You need to be in tune with everything that's going on, and you need to be on your best game if you think you're going to make money in this environment. This is not an environment for novices. If you think you can trade and just make money because there's a lot of volatility out there, I think you're going to be in for a really long journey, because volatility is great if you know what you're doing and you're trading on really small time frames. I really like it when you're trading intraday and there's a lot of volatility, right? But when you're looking at swing trading or trying to trade off the weekly and the daily and there's a lot of volatility, it's just really easy to get whipped around, stopped out on different trades, simply because the direction, it's not like it's a single direction. We're getting a lot of whipsaws, right? So got to be very careful in this environment from that standpoint. All right. Hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.